Let's go around. Craig, if you want to start.
Water again? Sure, if someone could bring me a water bottle.
Need water.
Sorry, I think he's so thick. Give me a constellation. Sure. The mic technology is developed. Okay. No water? All right, anytime. Hi.
Ronda, what does it mean to have this fight between you and Gina now, as opposed to if it would have taken place years ago?
I think it's so much more meaningful now because before, thank you, it would have just affected our two careers, but now it's affecting the sport's future. You know, if it wasn't for me and Gina wanting to do this fight, like MVP wouldn't have come into MMA like this. Netflix wouldn't be coming into MMA now. You know, we wouldn't be starting off with this kind of a bang. And yeah, it's become bigger than just us. You know, we came in for ourselves and our own, you know, our own redemption arcs and reclaiming our bodily identity and all of that. But it's now affecting the entire world, and not just the women, but the men in the sport.
Ronda, you clearly are enjoying yourself out there. I watch you work out, you're having a big smile on your face, and you've made it clear that this is probably the end, and this is the last one. How gratifying is it for you to be able to have a swan song like this, to be able to have a goodbye? No one else usually gets this, right? For you to come back after so long and get this moment, how gratifying and grateful are you to be able to have it?
I'm so grateful, not just that this moment is happening, but where and with who. Like, this is, like I said, this is the beach that I grew up training on, and throughout my entire athletic career. And Pauline that came on the mat with me to do my first throws, like we competed together as kids, you know, like, you see how hard I throw her? I love that girl. And yeah, like, we met when we were like 11 and 12 years old, and I had my first ever sleepover with her, you know, and to like be able to do this open workout with her is incredible. And this whole team that we formed just for this, and we were like training in secret, and we didn't know if it was going to work out, and everybody just believed and kept training for all of it to culminate in this moment in front of everybody. It's like really happening, and it's the best way to be able to end it. It's the ending that it deserves.
Nikisa was here, and I asked him about the celebrity that kind of want tickets, because the last time we fought in LA, they would always cut to the crowd and always be celebrities cheering you on. He said the demand was high, but he also said Sean Strickland called him and asked for tickets, and he said he had to ask you for permission to see if you could give Sean Strickland tickets. Would you give Sean Strickland tickets to your fight?
Sure. Yeah, he could go. I'm glad that it has to go through me now. I feel very cool about that. But yeah, sure. Come on over. We can convert anyone. Sure.
Hey, Ronda, Alfred with Forbes. You had a very successful pro wrestling career, former World Rumble winner, women's champion. Is there anything that you use while you were training for pro wrestling that you now use in your MMA training?
In the training?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't think in the training, but definitely in the preparation for press conferences and how I organize my thoughts. You know, I learned so much from Paul Heyman. And he told me to, like, no matter what you're saying, always bring it back around to the fight. You're always trying to sell the fight and always end on the best line.
What's it been like getting to know Gina over these months, and what's it like fighting someone who you obviously like so much?
I mean, it's been incredible. She was my hero, you know, getting into the sport. And this is what brought us together. We went from like acquaintances to, I mean, we're trying our best not to be friends and to not communicate. I desperately want to hit her up for every press conference and be like, what color are you wearing? Because I really want to be able to match. So I have to try and pick colors that will match anything. No, it's incredible because I feel like no matter which way it goes, like, I'm totally at peace with it. And it's one of those rare like fights where I think it's a feel-good experience no matter what, you know? You're not like gonna watch it and be like, oh, it's either gonna be a really shitty night or a really bad night. It's like, it's gonna be great no matter what. And I'm gonna give her every single fucking thing that I have. And because we have so much respect for each other, I know we have forgiveness in our hearts for each other. And I will be the first one to pop her elbow back in and drive her to the hospital and get her flowers. And I hope that she would be the first person to, you know, help me off the mat if I ended up going down myself.
Eduardo.
I think a lot of us were, when you first fought in Anaheim 13 years ago, When you look back at that version of yourself, what would you say is one thing favorite about yourself about when you fought 13 years ago?
What was my favorite thing about myself 13 years ago?
That version of yourself.
Oh God,
You were
all of the
first
collagen that I had in my body. That was it.
If you keep promoting women's MMA, what's the first thing that you want to change in the sport, especially in women's MMA?
In women's MMA, I mean, I feel like it's not just about men or women anymore. I think it's about giving fighters their power back and giving them, reminding people that we are what the sport is about. It's not a brand, it's not a belt, it's the fighters themselves. And I want them to be able to, reap the rewards of their labor and not just, try and like fight over pieces of it.
Over here, Gina.
Has Nate shown any more gummies with you since that first press conference?
No, I'm completely, I'm in serious fight camp mode, which is different than his serious fight camp mode. But no, I made sure to to stay clear and remember that I had a scrum after this time. Yeah.
So, Ronda, you've said that this is the biggest MMA fight of all time, not just the biggest women's MMA fight of all time, but the biggest MMA fight of all time. Obviously, it's going to be on Netflix. There's never been a platform for MMA like this before. What does that mean? What does that success look like to you in terms of viewership and numbers when this is all said and done?
In numbers, I just want to be able to beat the numbers for the most viewed MMA fight of all time. What's the numbers for that?
In the U.S., about 9 million.
About 9 million. So beating 9 million will be a success to me. Blowing it out of the park will make me very happy. But that's all that I really want to get out of this. I just want to be able to convince MVP and Netflix that there is something here and it is worth the investment, and this is going to be huge, and that they should stay in the MMA game and not just dabble in it this one time.
In a way, Ronda, does that kind of feel familiar, right? Because when you first got to the UFC, you were almost having to campaign for people, women's MMA is worth watching, and now here you are again campaigning, saying hey, there's something here that doesn't have to just be the UFC. Netflix can get involved as well. Does it feel familiar to you that you're selling MMA again?
I mean, yeah, I have experience in this field, so I feel like I'm the best person for the job, and this is, I guess, is my audition to be like, hey, you should have me around to do this a whole lot more often. So hopefully this is a huge success, and this isn't the last time I'll be able to try and push the envelope.
Go in here, Andre.
What's going on? Hey, yo, so I asked Gina the same question, of course, as you being a fighter as well. Is this fight going to be more of like a mental battle, for both of you guys, like walking into that fight on Saturday night? I believe that you and Gina, of course, you guys are tremendous athletes, but when it's time to go back in front of those lights, is it going to be more of a mental battle for you guys, make you guys prepared to stand out there in front of those people, go out there and put out a tremendous performance?
I think that's the most difficult part of it, is the uncertainty of the outcome. And that's something I noticed in pro wrestling. A lot of people will be like, oh, this is so real, this is so tough. We actually get hit with chairs. And I'm like, getting hit is not the hardest part. That's not what keeps you up at night. That's not what makes your heart race. That's not what that weighs the most on your soul, is the uncertainty of the outcome. And so, it's also what makes it so incredible when you're able to pull it off and to get through it and prove to yourself that you can face something that is difficult and do it anyway, and that translates to everything else in the rest of your life.
Two more guys.
Ronda, right here. This is your first time fighting as a parent, as a mother. Does anything feel different in that respect now that you're going through this?
My perspective has entirely changed, and that it used to be that winning was the end of the world and it was the only thing that matters, and now it's like at the end of the day, my children are what matters, my family more than anything else, and I want to show them how to win and how to be able to face things that are difficult and push through it and do it anyway, because my mom, being the first American world champion in judo, that's what taught me that I could be the first to do something. I could be the best at something. And so I feel like I have more motivation than ever because I'm fighting not just for me, but for them as well. I want to inspire them the way my mom inspired me.
One more.
Ronda, how much has your mom helped you embrace that role of a mom?
Of a mom? Oh God! I mean, I learned all my momming from mom. But she's the one that made me desperately want to be a mother, because she's just absolutely incredible. A lot of people, you don't even like know the legend that is my mom. Like, she got a perfect score in the SATs at 16, graduated college at 19. She won the world championships in judo at 26 while she was studying for a PhD, working as an engineer in the 80s and a single mom all at the same time, you know? And that was like at 26. She's done a lot of shit since then. She's on the California Athletic Commission right now, you know? Like, my mom is just absolutely incredible, and she always taught me she taught me how to teach by example, you know, but she also taught me how to be a hard ass bitch. So if you got to know my mom a little bit, you would understand me a whole lot more. I used to think I was like really chill and laid back, and I was like, why do people think I'm super intense? I'm like, oh, because I was comparing myself to my mom.
One more, guys.
Last one.
I think you're good, man.
I just feel like, because you've come here, right, it's been a long time and the sport has changed since you've been away, I feel like the newer breed of fighters could learn something from you. You come back and you are in promoter mode. You treat the press conference as a moment to promote. You are promoting this card. Why do you think younger fighters aren't getting that as much? Why are there no stars anymore, basically?
Well, I think it's partly from the fighters and partly from the company. You know, I think a lot of people, they don't want to be famous. You know, they're like, I just want to show up and fight. And they think like, oh, I'm being humble because I'm not trying to be famous. But it's like, you're not trying to get fame for the sake of fame. You're trying to like get notoriety for the sake of getting people to watch your fight. And I think a lot of them don't understand that their job isn't to win fights, it's to get people to watch their fights. And I think a lot of people are insecure that they don't want to put themselves out there or look like they're trying and failing. You know, all through high school, I never put makeup on my face, because I thought like any attempt to put makeup on my face, I would like look dumb because I was trying. And I think a lot of people are afraid to look dumb trying.
Thank
See
you,
y'all
Ronda.
tomorrow. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Thanks for coming out.